You're listening to The Monks.
You're here with the Monks. I'm Heather.
I'm Josh.
Thanks for tuning in.
Powerball's on everybody's brain. I don't know a single person right now that ain't talking Powerball to some degree. I always think because like your job and my job did the group buy-in. Mm-hmm. And I went around to every person in my job. I was like, we all need to be doing this. Because I just can't even imagine the sorrow a person would feel. If your whole company is gone, you're the one person. Every new hire is like, you're the one person who didn't want to spend. Well, you don't ever win. It's like, dude, it's $2.
Yeah.
$2 is something you can scrounge up if you grab a lot of loose cans.
Yeah.
It is not something that you should abstain from. I straight up tell the people I work with, I go, you got to make sure I'm always in it, because if you guys all win and somehow I was not here and you did a buy-in and everybody won and I don't get any, I'm going to kill myself. And that's on you. So even if you're a millionaire now, my death is on your hands.
We also watched the RenFaire documentary. I think that's on HBO Max.
Yeah.
And that guy was absolutely bullying. He was the king of everyone. So he was bullying. And
there's so many. Oh my God. First off, I don't even know how to encapsulate these kind of these little weird kingdoms that pop up all over the place. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I have kind of felt it because I did improv in LA.
Yeah.
And it's
cults.
Yeah. And luckily that wasn't truly culty, but it was cult adjacent at times where you're like, okay, these things only matter here. That's what I would always keep my head on about to a degree is I'd go, but if I go home and tell anyone what I'm upset about that's not happening for me here, or what I'm happy about that's happening for me here, and everything in between, they do not know what any of this is.
Right.
It means nothing to them because it doesn't exist outside of this.
Yeah.
And so I was able to always have that kind of perspective, but I feel like a lot of people get sucked into weird environments. And this RenFaire thing, it was like a RenFaire in Texas, right? Mm-hmm.
It was like a little baby theme park. It was like a small Renaissance theme park, right?
30,000 people are going to this thing. So that's the thing.
I guess
too.
it's not small. That's a lot.
Well, we're thinking because you worked at Disney, I worked at Universal. So we're thinking that's a decent day, at a place like that. But that's humongous for almost anywhere else. Mm-hmm. 30,000 people going anywhere is big business. I mean, the guy was worth millions of dollars. Mm-hmm. And it really will make you question everything about yourself. When you watch this guy and you're sitting there, I guarantee everybody has the same thing I did. When they say how much money this guy has, and you've been seeing this guy, and you've been hearing this guy, and you go, I am not worth anything monetarily.
Yes.
How in the world am I this far off pace from somebody who seems to be a genuine and just categorically dipshit?
Yes.
This guy is maniacally stupid.
He was a diabolical lunatic, but 50% diabolical, 50% lunatic.
Yeah. I was like, how is this guy not die? He struck me as a guy, I go, this guy ain't never died in a fire? I can't believe this guy's got all his thingies. He just strikes me as somebody who would have died in a fire that he caused. He's in this RenFaire, and I go, how did he not get trampled by a horse or something? He just struck me like a guy who should have died in an accident. And he should have caused people to die in an accident. I just couldn't. This thing, it was just baffling to me. The amount of power and money that he had. And the fact that everybody just kowtowed to this guy. They're just they called him the king. Oh my God, they called him the king.
Yeah.
We had the assistant who's booking this man sugar daddy dates. He meets every one of these sugar babies at the Olive Garden.
What is his conversation? He makes them sit inside the booth. On the same side as he pins them in. And then his first question is, are your breasts real? Mm-hmm. I don't.
It was so nasty.
I didn't want to.
No, it was nasty. It was absolutely nasty. It was okay. First off, have we not heard of an under the muscle good breast augmentation in the year of our Lord 2025? You don't know that thing would pass a field test for you?
That's not a good question.
God, no. That is, you know what it is?
That's your only requirement for wanting to date this person?
And if you saw this wall-eyed monster, it's you got the audacity to be asking these women. I just kept having the same feeling for these women. I said, there's got to be something better out here for you than this.
Yeah.
There's just got to be something better for you out here than this. Because at the moment, all you're getting is a free meal. I think maybe they got paid for the dinner or for the meal, maybe. I thought I saw in one of his assistant's messages $300 for the meal.
Oh, really?
You know?
I thought he said they had to pay for their own meal.
No. I think it said like $300 or something like that.
Is that the fanciest place to take that? I just don't know. If I'm a sugar baby, I'm not accepting Olive Garden. Know what I mean?
Especially if you're seeing this man coming at you, right? It's like this guy, to quote Rodney Dangerfield, was so ugly that his mom would have to put a pork chop around his neck to get the dog to play with him. This guy's not attractive. He's a bad looking man, and he's a bad man. And that's my rule too. I usually don't comment on people's looks, but if you're going to be ugly on the inside and on the outside, it's fair game to me. You know, I'll dog walk you, you ugly little freak. That dynamic is a little skin crawly to me too. You know, you're putting this young lady. Now I know she's there, you know, but I'm like, come on, man. This has got to be better than this. There's got to be something better for you than being like mashed into a booth with this guy, watching him slurp down minestrone soup.
Yeah, I gotta order the soup, salad, and breadsticks meal.
Right? Can I get a tour of Italy, sir? Can I get a tour of Italy?
Gotta order the cheapest lunch. We're here at lunch.
We're here at lunch. Can I get a tour of Italy? They're gonna do a smaller serving because it's lunch. Oh man, remember the tour of Italy? Boy, I used to take that tour every time I went to Olive Garden.
No.
Man, I am not surprised that I was so heavy, because when I think about my go-to order at Olive Garden, I pounded that salad, tons of cheese, please, keep it coming, keep it coming, keep it coming. I don't get the unlimited breadsticks. I would get Alfredo sauce. I need to dip it in liquid cheese, and I'm pounding. And then tour of Italy, which is chicken parm, lasagna, and Alfredo pasta. Gone. And then I'm probably looking at whatever you got left over there. What did you get?
Yeah.
You know, I go, that's a lot. That by itself, just that plate of food's got to be nearing 2,000 calories. So I'm probably walking out of there easy 4,000. I'm not surprised that I was very heavy. That was my go-to. Tour of it. Remember the last time we ever went to Olive Garden? We went to Olive Garden, I think like Glendale or something like that. We hadn't been in years. And we're like, oh, let's go to Olive Garden. And it was not good. You know, we were like, wow, this is all just very salty and stuff. Like, it was actually very weird to like go back to a thing that you know you liked. I feel like we've done this a few times. You go back to a thing you know you loved at the time that you had it, but it's been years and you've kind of moved a different direction as far as how you eat and stuff like that. And I just remember we got the Alfredo dipping sauce, and I was like, this is just like a salt lick of salt. It's just so salty. Yeah. And so I'm like, oh, okay. And then I got the tour of Italy. And it's like a bite of each thing. I was like, this is not good either. You know, this feels like, it was weird to start a thing and I go, I feel like I'm going to have diarrhea. You know, like I remember saying that. I go, this feels like I'm just like gearing up for diarrhea. And then their thing at that moment, and this is when you know it's really all not good, is I barely ate that. And they go, okay, can we box that up? And I go, I guess. And then they bring over and everything's double. So it's double the amount of boxes you know the food should be. And I go, oh, what's this? And they go, oh, we do a program where you buy one, get one. And it was a whole nother meal for free. And I said, ooh, I don't think this is good quality food.
Yeah.
And that's when I mashed you over in the thing and I said, so are these breasts real?
So gross.
It's very gross. Both things.
I think that was a time when we were growing this way of what we liked food wise, and they were also growing this way where they were getting worse and worse and worse. Maybe. So it was a meetup of those two.
There are some things that hold up. Like when I go home and I have a Publix sub, I go, that slaps every single time. That is genuinely good to me. I have gone back and I remember like in North Carolina, we would go and get, what was that Mexican place that we loved in Florida? And we hadn't had it for ages. Tijuana Flats. And I was like, this is pretty okay. Bad. Yeah, this is it's not great. You know, it's just like...
And that could have been just also...
the North Carolina of it all?
Yeah.
Could be.
Who were some of the characters that really stood out to you on the RenFaire doc?
The guy who, at the start of the doc, because there's many GMs throughout the course of the doc, but the guy who started out as the GM.
He was also the art director?
The entertainment director. Like, I think he had started that way and he ends that way. Because he was typical, you know, liberal arts guy, like way into theater.
I thought, is this Kyle from Tenacious D doing a character in this documentary?
But you could tell he truly loved entertaining and actually was talented. Like a few instances he got to show a little bit of his acting, and I was like, yeah, because even in the course of the documentary, they shot the ever-loving crap out of this documentary.
Oh, it was shot so well and edited so well.
Yeah, and a big part of that was because they like were able to have him do good acting in it. You know, so you're like, oh yeah, I get that he's like seething or he's like watching all this go down. He was very interesting.
And when he was moved up to GM, he hired his wife to be the entertainment director, which I thought she's doing an equally amazing job at this. When he stepped back into it, he was stepping on her toes so much, and I really felt like for her because it felt like she just faded into the background where she was really coming into her own. I don't know, maybe she was already into her own.
Yeah, I don't know. And actually, the only thing I would say to that is it's a little bit of even misremembering, because whenever they showed those clips of him kind of stepping on her at rehearsals and auditions and stuff, he was technically the GM.
Oh, was he?
He couldn't leave it alone. She would say a thing, like she said at one point, I think she said something as simple as like, there are no mistakes. And he said, well, actually, but I would say there is one mistake. And that mistake is, you know, and he goes into this long like acting thing, very self-serious for, you know, I want to say during that audition scene, somebody is actively smoking a cigarette, you know, getting like, they're like, so no mistakes. That's good.
Except for one mistake.
So I'm not hearing anything about priors being an issue. Just that we don't want to deny what our scene partner's doing.
I don't know if you remember this movie, but it was a movie from when we were teens, and it had a boy who rode on the back of a trash truck to school.
I vaguely remember that. And do you remember the name of it?
Whatever It Takes, I think it was called.
Here's one thing I do know about that movie. It was written by M. Night Shyamalan.
Was it? Okay. Yeah. It wasn't James Franco. Was James Franco in it?
I want to say James Franco may have been in it. Was Aaron Paul also in it?
Aaron Paul was in it.
Was
Shane
he the
West.
Trash can guy?
He was in it. Yeah. They go to a fair or a carnival in it.
Yeah.
And the guy had just like puke all over his shirt, the guy who runs the rides.
Yeah.
And every time anything that it has to do with carnivals, it's the first.
That's the thought.
That's the thing I think about.
Yeah. That's why no matter what you do in this world, if you put art out into this world, it will mean something to someone in some capacity.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, whether it hits big or it doesn't, somebody's going to go, every time I see a carnival, I think of the guy with vomit on his shirt. Because you probably thought, that's odd that he's just wearing that still.
Yeah, it was a wife beater shirt.
Covered in vomit.
Covered in vomit.
Yeah.
And he was just working there.
Yeah.
He wasn't off the ride throwing up on himself.
That was one thing that kept popping in my head when I was watching that RenFaire thing is like, I go, it's carnival folk. It's, you know, it's very similar. Because a lot of these RenFaires, I do think they travel. This one doesn't. This one is hundreds of acres out in Texas that this guy's built over like 50 years or something like that. But they usually travel, and it reminded me like when I was a kid, I worked at like the state fair came into town, and somehow my sister, who's like 9 years older than me, had a job at it. And as a little kid, I got to work at the state fair.
So she was how old? Probably 16, 17?
15, 16.
15, 16.
You know, so I'm 8, 9, you know, going to work at this thing. Yeah. Going to work at this thing and was allowed to do so. It wasn't like I was sneaking or anything. I was a balloon boy. You know, I worked at I'd fill the balloons.
Well, I don't know if legally you were allowed to.
I don't think there's any law to carnival.
Yeah. It's like the open sea.
Yeah. It was the greatest thing that ever happened to a 9-year-old, though. So many times in my life, I look back and I go, if you show that scene, if they go, oh, this is adapted from a Stephen King thing, and you show me bopping through a carnival, you were sitting there going,
oh gosh, when's the bad thing?
I'm a balloon boy. They go, he's going to get into something, and away he goes, and now he travels with the carnival.
This is the exciting incident.
Yeah, of like, best case scenario, they make him a freak. Worst case scenario, sex slave. And nope. Just the guy I worked for was a little bit gruff, probably smoked too many cigarettes around me. He was just constantly smoking. He's like, so whenever they pop them, you're going to fill them back up. You're going to run over there, make sure to look. People have been darted. You know, make sure it's all clear. You may even want to say all clear. run out, do the thing, and he'd get on there and goes, all right, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we have some strong young men here tonight. Want to showcase their skills in front of their ladies. Am I right? Pop a balloon, win a prize. Pop a balloon, win a prize. And then, did
you do like the thing in kitchens where you're like, behind?
No, I probably, if I remember correctly, almost got hit with a dart several times. As a kid, I have ADHD. I had it then, and I'm like, oh, right. The hardest part was tying. Yeah. My finger would be rub raw. Oh. I'm like tying. I'm like, oh, God. Tying.
That's probably the least amount of injury any kid there got.
Right. Didn't get darted. Didn't get molested. Mm-hmm. I just got a real tell energy, which is true. I had a great relationship with my parents. I will tell. Like whatever happens, I will tell immediately. Yeah. I will tell. And I have a sister who's very she's coming around.
She's a busybody
in your life. And she loves me, and she's coming around. Mm-hmm. Like I do remember she was coming around. Like I wasn't left I had a lot of freedom. I mean, like when I say how much freedom I had to like a kid nowadays, they'd be like, this is insane. Like, you're working a little job. On your off time, you'd go find the other kids and just ride rides, and you'd go over and the lady'd give you like a thing from, you'd get a hot dog or you'd get a funnel cake or something from one of the ladies that owned the little stands and stuff. It was great. I mean, I rode the Gravitron like 8 times in a row. Yeah. Till the guy said, I don't know if this is smart. I don't know if you can, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Like your brain will detach.
Yeah, I don't know what you just start having gray stuff come out of your nose, and I killed a kid by accident. So I think we're going to let you cool it a little bit. Like, go do something else. Mm-hmm. Go into haunted houses, duck pond, picking up the little duckies and stuff. Go down to the animals, petting zoo, get some pets. Nice. It was fantastic. And then the guy, we start to vibe through my week there. He's like, why don't you jump on the mic? Why don't we give him a little? And then once you get a little kid on the mic, people are like, oh, that's cute. And I'm like, hey, I bet you can't throw a dart good at all, huh? Look at this guy. String bean. Got ourselves a real string bean. Am I right? A lot of that kind of stuff.
How much power did you feel once you started on that mic? Where you were like, hold on. I'm feeling myself now.
I think it was mostly whenever as a kid you would realize you did actually get the goat of a grown man. Yeah. And he's like, all right, how much is it? $5? If you ever see anybody walking around a carnival type environment and they have one of those big, that was a lesson I learned so young. If they have one of those big teddy bears, they have spent $1,000 for that teddy bear. They have spent so much more money. Like back then people would I remember one guy got like a bear or a big dog or something for his day. It was like $300 that he spent. And these bears smell like mold. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They're traveling city to city.
Well, they absolutely have mold inside.
Oh, yeah. And the people running these rides, like I said, this guy's chain smoking on the floor. Mm-hmm. He would also just take breaks. Now I realize he's doing something. Mm-hmm. He's got some habit that he needs to step away for pretty often. Right. Where he's like, just, you get it and just, where the change purse is, that kind of thing. Like, you know how to count. I'm like, yeah, I can count. And they go, okay, great. That's how young I was. Like, I remember the question was like, can you count? Yeah, I can count. And they're like, all right, just make change. Don't get it over your head. If you get a big bill or something, just say it over the mic until I'll come. So he's stepping away. So he's probably at best drinking, at worst snorting. Probably booze, though. Okay. Probably booze. But it was a crazy environment. And I would go home every day with just cash. And I loved nothing more than taking it out of my little coffee can and just counting it.
How much do you think you made per day?
Per day, I don't know. I think for the whole week I made about $180.
Oh, wow. That's a lot for
It was a ton
9 years
for me.
Old. Yeah.
That lasted forever to me. Like for my overhead was like 1 Dr. Pepper a day and a bag of Funyuns. You know what I mean? I was like, I probably actually got to get something real with it. Like it probably helped me get, I don't know, a video game or a baseball glove or something tangible. Oh, man, it was great. I have no idea. It never happened again. We lived in that town after that. I don't know. I couldn't have been 9, though. I feel like that's so young. Maybe I was like 11. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? It just feels crazy young. Yeah. I was 9. I want to say maybe 11 or something like that. It was young, but 9, I don't know if I was that young. Because I just don't know if my parents would have been like, okay.
Is there that much gap between 9 and 11?
No.
Doesn't feel like it.
Smarts-wise, no. Maybe I was a little taller, but smarts-wise, no.
Did the other kids you ran around with in the carnival, did they live in your town or they lived in the carnival?
A lot of them traveled. Mm-hmm. I actually don't remember knowing anyone kid-wise, like prior to that. Now, I don't know everybody in my town, you know what I mean? It's possible they're from the other side.
Did kids from your school come and be like, John? gosh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all the time. I was like, oops, sorry, I got to... How are you guys? Hey, step right up, everybody. Pop a balloon. Sorry, I'm on the floor, guys. Pop a balloon. If you think you can pop a balloon, you're going to get yourself a teddy bear. Teddy bear's over here if you can pop a balloon. And here's the thing I used to think was so funny. It was funny to me the entire time. Somebody pop balloon. You know, they're like, okay, I paid $10. I popped every balloon. Like, I remember, like, they'd be like, I hit every balloon. You can't do any better. I hit every balloon. And then he'd go, all right. So we got 7 pop balloons or something. And he'd reach under and he'd take out something about yay big. And he'd go, all right, thanks so much. Now, if you want to go for one of the big boys, if you want to step up and go for one of the big boys, that's going to be another 20. You're going to need to pop 10 more balloons. And some people would go, all right, here we go. They pop 10. He goes, all right, that's 10. The easy way he'd reach under would be something like slightly big. He goes, all right, that's what that'll get you. You know what I mean? That's why I was like, by the time they got up there, that's somebody who's lost their head. That's somebody who, if you took them to Vegas, they'd be penniless because they can't walk away from a carnival barker. We were literally carnival barkers. And now I realize, like, that's an effective tactic. But then, I mean, this is...
Badgering?
This is 90s. He's being real personal. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's not like, I'm like, hey, String Bean. A lot of my stuff was String Bean, really. I'm like, hey, String Bean. This guy's looking out here looking like a coat rack. Real scrawny.
You didn't get any like, oh, I'm feeling the power. I'm starting to be mean.
Not me.
By accident.
No, I don't think so. I think
you didn't have to be like wrangled back in.
I don't think this guy would have wrangled me back in. I just really loved where I was like, hey, you're here with your lady. Why don't you win her a prize? And they'd be like, oh, he's a kid. That's interesting. But he would do the same thing. Only he'd be like, come on, don't be an absolute puss about it. Get over here and pop a balloon. Get over here and pop a balloon. There you go. There you go. And I'm like, okay, he's kind of swearing.
Yeah.
You know, he's making it personal.
I won't go on carnival rides. They make me so nauseous, first of all. But second, it's just like the thought of up and down. There ain't a screw missing. They remembered every screw.
And I can tell you this, like being a part of the team where you get to go behind the trailers.
Yeah, you pulled the curtain back and you saw.
Not that anybody really had any, like, I don't think anybody goes, oh yeah, this is tip of the sword. But like, yeah, you need to, I think that's a safe way to be. I remember we got on the zipper and I swear this is true. The thing that held the door shut was what looked like a belt on a car. You know, like just like rubber belting. And that's what held the door shut on a thing that just flips you a bunch of times.
Right.
I remember I rode that one time with my buddy. I was like, never again. I've never ridden that thing ever from that day.
My friend Matt and I at a carnival one time rode on the zipper and we got stuck upside down. It would not unstick. And I was like, oh my, the whole time just upside down head rush.
And you're just like waiting to die.
We're just like, ooh.
Yeah. At that carnival, they had the super loop, which is just roller coaster loop. All they have is the loop. Which, how sad is that? They go, it's just a loop.
Yeah.
And it got stuck. And it got stuck like, here comes the fire department. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't getting unstuck.
That's so terrifying.
Yeah, they're up getting them.
I didn't see any rides on that RenFaire show. I didn't see any rides.
I think the most they had were like the carnival games. They had the pop-ems, the shoot-ems, which again, they were all over the place as far as the Renaissance. I go, this is a shooting game? Yeah. Did they have guns then?
No.
Shouldn't it be like a crossbow or something? At least if we're going to be like kind of period accurate. That was the biggest thing. I go, this is just the best recollection of a series of dumb people. Telling you what the
recollection. They're
was.
Just guessing.
Well, I mean,
they're just kind of going like, I like this. Let's put that in.
That's what I mean. But I mean, like, they're like, I think I heard that about that, right? Like, and I'm like, not that I expect a full blown historian to be in charge, but I was like, it wouldn't be that hard to make this kind of period accurate.
It was Google.
What was some of your other favorite characters from that show?
Well, the guy you're describing as your boss kind of reminds me of the popcorn guy or the kettle corn guy.
Yeah.
Just seemed like he was always
up.
Yeah, like smoking the vape, drinking the Monster Energy drink.
No, he drank. Well, sorry, I didn't mean no. Like, you're wrong.
Yeah.
I meant he drank those Red Bulls though in a way that was like almost like sucking it out of the can.
Yeah.
Like he's going so hard. I've never seen somebody drink. It's just a Red Bull, and I kept thinking, third act of this thing, this guy dies of a heart attack on camera.
Yeah.
Because the way he put them, he'd do 2 at a time. And he would absolutely just both boom, boom in like a minute and a half. Sucking at it. It was so. It's like when somebody smokes cigarettes and they like real hard, it's that level of energy to it where I was like, you're going to hear a seal pop whenever he takes this can away. Like the sides are going in, you know, it's like, and he's just going a mile a minute. Yeah. Like, cause he wants to take over the kingdom. Jacked. He wants to buy it. He's like, he's like an entrepreneur. He's saying a lot of stuff though. He's a typical entrepreneur in this way. And I feel like we've all dealt with entrepreneurs and our bosses and all these kind of things where he's like going a mile a minute and he's saying all these like kind of word salad buzzword type things. And some of the stuff, I remember at one point he said something about like bringing technology into it, like a class or a course, like a Renaissance course or school that we're going to set up. And I said, no, you're just saying bad ideas very quickly. Yes. What are you talking about? Mm-hmm. What, RenFaire school? He's talking about something with tablets. I was like, I'm at a RenFaire.
I don't know.
Don't try to make it more than it is.
Maybe he was kind of thinking of that movie that Emma Stone is in, where and Willem Dafoe makes her.
Oh yeah,
he builds her, and she's like learning, and they have all that kind of like steampunk tech.
Yeah, and he definitely,
maybe that's the school he's thinking.
He was rocking some steampunk too.
Yeah, so he had a steampunk vibe.
He was into that.
Is steampunk the same era as Renaissance?
I don't think steampunk was actually a real thing.
Oh.
I think it's an artistic interpretation of like multitudes of things that they go, that's steampunk. I could be wrong, but I'd almost bet my life on it. Do you mind if I Google?
Yeah. I don't want you to bet your life on it without a Google.
Steampunk is a genre of science fiction that fuses elements of the 19th century Victorian era with retro-futuristic steam-powered technology. So often set in an alternate history. So yeah, it's not like anything real. It's like smashing together a few things. And again, 19th century. And it felt like this is supposed to be like 13th century or something.
This was a lot of sword play and jousting.
Really, it kind of felt like, what are those things that people do? LARPing? Mm-hmm. That type of energy. To me, I actually kind of thought RenFaires were kind of...
Whatever you want it to be?
No, I actually kind of thought maybe they were like somewhat period accurate. Like we're kind of eating foods that would have been available at that time. Obviously more palatable. I don't think
turkey legs, just kind of like Disney style turkey legs are RenFaire. Felt like, why not? That is what you get there, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've never been to one, so I had...
No. Again, I just watched a show and I have strong opinions.
Yeah.
I haven't been. But there are certain things I go, I don't need to go to this to know. I know how I feel.
I have, this is how I decide what I'm doing with my free time. If there's porta potties involved, it's a real, like it's got to be really something I want to do.
Yeah, that's fair. I think for women, that's especially fair. For men, it's like, no worries. But for men, I always think, do the right thing, guys. Mm-hmm. Take the extra second. Mm-hmm. Don't just like put it everywhere. Kettle corn guy, real high energy guy. Mm-hmm. Very
tweaky, very fidget spinner.
And he, by his own admission, like used to be an addict or is an addict in recovery. And I said, it does feel like we pivoted that pretty hardcore to these the way he drank those Red Bulls. I was like, this is going to come to a head. Mm-hmm. He's such an adrenaline junkie that at one point they were showing stuff about him before he came to the RenFaire, and he had taken like a cargo plane level, like a big giant cargo plane, and without knowing if it could be done, was just like, I really wanted to fly it inverted.
I thought he said they made him do it.
Who?
I thought he was in the military.
No, they're not like, hey, we got all this cargo in there. Oh. So that's going to be a floor level. If you could flip that upside down, that'd be really good for what we're doing. They'd go, no, don't flip. What? Why do I even have to say? No, it was an out of commission one. And he just was like, I just want to do it. I want to know if I can do it. And he did it.
I love a documentary that's just a cast of characters. That is kooky people.
Yeah.
And whatever lifestyle they've created for themselves. I really enjoy those. Yep. Oh, they had a podcast for the RenFaire.
Yeah. Huzzah! 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 And I could tell that podcast host, because he interviews the owner of it, that he doesn't like the owner.
Who did?
I think a lot of them did. There was a point where they take him around to the shops, and the shopkeeper is crying at meeting him. And I just always, those kind of energies I don't understand. Mm-hmm. I never understood whenever like you're working at a job, and there's always like that person who's like just too excited to meet somebody who barely pays us a living wage. Like they're like, oh, did you hear? I'm like, nah, I'm good. Yeah. Like nothing good's going to come of this for me. Like when they're like, so-and-so is going to be around for a second, be on your best behavior. I go, yeah, I hate this. Like this isn't going, they're not going to see me.
Be in my worst behavior.
Yeah. That's like whenever I would fill up the balloon and I just pop it. Because here comes the carnival man. Who even owns a carnival? If they would have been like, the carnival boss is coming through, I'd be like, I thought we were just out here kind of with a collective mind meld. I didn't even know there was a boss to this. Like, now I think about it, I go, yeah, some fat cat's probably reaping, because these people like very clearly are not doing well financially. So I was like, who is? The whole town I'm in is here. Like, it's a big deal for this little town to have the fair come through. I feel like there's a lot of those kind of things, and I go, who's actually pocketing all this money?
They have to be.
There has to be an owner of the fair.
But each individual, they have to be their own little contractors, no?
I don't know. Back then, I don't know if that.
And then you get a split, like if you get tickets. Why am I breaking down this?
I don't know.
You know what? Some of my favorite scenes in movies are carnival scenes, though.
Yeah.
They are really great scenes.
They look great, yeah.
Yeah.
They look fantastic.
The Great Outdoors, when they go to that carnival, I love it.
Yep, yeah.
It's summertime.
Absolutely.
I don't even think fairs happen in the summer, do they?
I don't think this was the summer.
Yeah.
If I really think about it, I think it was like fall or something like that. But you're right, all the carnival scenes are always like having fireworks go off at some point, you know, stuff like that.
Grease.
And then something's going on, you know, love it. I haven't been to a fair or anything like that. We've gone a couple times, like, as adult. It just ain't my thing. It's instantly, I go, I don't want to ride any of the rides. I don't want to partake in the games, and I don't want to eat the food. What am I doing here?
I know. Every time I think it's going to be so fun, and it never is.
Nah, I think it's fun when you are a kid, and I think it's probably fun if you have kids to take them so they can have that fun. I totally get, you know, what people are getting in that way. I don't know if a lot of adults are like, hey, are these all spins? Like, because I'm starting to get that inner ear thing where it starts, I don't know if it gets softer or harder in there, but I'm getting loopy real easy. Like, I have to be careful when I'm drying my hair and I'm just trying to get a little body that I don't shake too hard or I'll get dizzy. And these are all whippies. Like, these are all that. Like, if somebody said now ride a Gravitron 8 times, I go, I might die.
I can't ride it one time.
Yeah.
I get sick so easily from spins. And that even started as a kid. But there was a time when I was a kid where I would spin around a lot. I remember I would use...
She's just out there spinning right now out in the field there, spinning around, looking up at the thing and then falling down, laughing her head off.
I would take the horse feed buckets because they were about this big. And I would spin them because they would get good air, so they would pull you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She's going to spin around and laugh her dang head off. Done fell out and puked into one of those buckets she was spinning with. She loves it. That's her favorite thing to do. I asked her what she wants to be when she grows up. She said, I just want to spin with my bucket. And I said, well, that should be easy enough to do. If nothing goes right, you're going to be able to spin with a bucket. And she said, all right. And I said, well, all right. Set an easy goal, I guess. Going to spin with a little bucket. The simple joys of spinning.
Yeah.
That is probably a soothing thing to a kid.
By 8th grade, I went to a carnival. I went on a spinny ride and barfed all over.
You barfed? Really? Oh, man. I've never barfed on a ride. I've felt
Not
like...
on the ride. Off the ride.
I've never barfed actually, like, in any way because of a ride, but I have felt nauseated a couple times. But I remember, and I don't think this is the carnival that I worked at. I think it's just another time I was at a carnival. But you know how they have that one that goes up and then it spins them? It goes up and down, and it's all like one stationary thing like this, but the thing itself is like a long row of people, and they spin like crazy.
Maybe.
Just all over everyone. Like somebody had vomited so much that the spins just kept slapping them, dapping them with it.
I think we went to a carnival one time with a couple friends, and I think it was Stacy and AJ. You and Stacy went on the ride, and AJ and I were waiting.
Yeah.
And we watched one where it went up, the person threw up, and it flipped, and it right on top of all of them.
My God.
It was so gross.
Goosh. That's the other thing. That's an unknown. It doesn't happen a lot.
It could be somebody else is throwing up.
Oh,
if you're on a ride,
I don't know what's worse. Like, I'd be mortified if I was a person who puked, but I'd be absolutely beside myself if I'm covered in somebody's puke.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, there's nothing.
Then you go in and you
it.
wash yourself off in the porta potty.
There's nothing about it that's worth it to me. Like, at this point, it's a kid thing. You know, it's a kid thing. My only lingering thing that I enjoy is like haunted houses. Haunted houses. Going to HHN, Hollow Scream, you know, the Queen Mary stuff. That is my thing. And even that gets taken too far because like my buddy Rob, he'll tell me about ones that he goes to and he's like, yeah, you got to sign the waiver. It's light electrocution. I'm like, no.
Don't touch me.
Don't touch me. Yeah, I'm trying to get a boo. You know, I'm not trying to like survive something. Like there's some of these things where I go, no, now I'm not giving permission to a sadist to harm me. I'm trying to see if you can make it look like Jordan Peele's movie Us and pop out from behind a corner.
I got easy.
Yeah, I don't.
There was one, I think the worst time I ever got
Yeah.
There was a pile of teddy bears. And then all of a sudden, that whole pile got up. It was and
it was a great one.
It was
that
so
was
good.
Queen Mary.
I didn't see that coming, and it just
fantastic.
really got me.
Yeah, my favorite. It didn't happen to you or I. We were there. My favorite one was my friend Will, the girl he was dating. We were at, I think it was Hollow Screen. Doesn't matter, but we were at a haunted house, and a little person dressed like a doll had come up alongside his girlfriend at the time and took her hand, and she thought it was Will's. Now, what does that say about Will's hand? I don't know. You know, it certainly doesn't say it's large. We know that, you know, because she didn't immediately go too small. She was holding it, thinking it's William's a male hand, grown man. So small, that didn't clock it. She looked down, freaked, and ran smashed her face into a mirror. And boom, I'm talking like on her butt.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oof. And I just remember looking.
It was very funny.
Yeah, looking over, and I was like, is she okay? And Will took his tiny little baby hand and gave a thumbs up. And I said, all right, I can barely see that. Okay. We can redact that. And Will took his very average hand. That's us redacting it. He goes, what the heck? I didn't do anything. But she bang on her butt. Like I was like, okay.
I thought she saw in the mirror, and then
she saw in real life and then ran into a mirror because it looked like, oh, you're all good to keep running. I remember when I was a kid at that carnival, they had the haunted house trailer thing. And I do remember just getting a real kick out of watching people just run into the mirrored walls. Like they would lay themselves out. They would really knock themselves around on that thing. Because they had something that scared you into it. And then it was just like clockwork. It was that. And, you know, it's the South and people aren't in the best shape. You know, they got big legs and they're a little loopy from their alcohol. And there was a little bridge aspect to it, and they'd be falling on that quite a bit too. And that's what I mean. I go like, there's no law here. We just got somebody's grandma out here, weak-kneed, just falling down, running into a thing.
Do they have those spinny rooms that you have to walk through this?
Yes.
It's like a toilet paper roll. But
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I think the best one of those I ever had was actually, because that one, I want to say you actually walked on it, like you could fall if you didn't let go. That we went to a haunted house one time that you were on a stable bridge.
Oh, yeah.
But it went around with like this light effect, and it would have you like absolutely, it really shows how the brain can, you know, be tricked into like having a real physical reaction. Because we were like, you're gripping this thing like you're going to just fall, and nothing is changing. If you close your eyes and walk forward, you'd be fine. Yeah. Nothing's changed.
I love in any kind of thing on movies or TV where they show something really happening to somebody, and then if you like do a different perspective and it's just the person like
barely anything is
nothing's
happening
going
or nothing
on.
is happening. Yeah, that's what those feel like.
It's the real Austin Powers of move.
I remember you'd watch the people getting on the thing too, and you're like, what is the deal? I think that may have been a Queen Mary one as well, like in a carnival thing that they did, like in a tent.
Oh, I thought Queen Mary was the best. The best haunted theme park, because the ship is just already so spooky.
Creepy. Yeah.
And then you're, you know,
they have
extra
great design.
spooky. Yeah.
And they also, I think they did a thing that I really enjoyed for their VIP thing, which is they would hold your group for a second. You know, they're like, okay, you're not only you're like getting to cut the line, but they let all the things reset.
Right.
Because at Universal, when we would do that, they wouldn't necessarily let all the things reset. They had to get so many bodies through.
People there,
that you're kind of, you know, it's ruining a lot of the scares. It's still fun and it's still awesome. Because my favorite thing is honestly to sit in the room and just look at the work these people have put into it, because it's so cool.
It is so cool.
And that is where Universal is like head and shoulders. Like when you walk in their rooms, you're like, this is awesome, man. Like they have built like an incredible set piece and stuff. But I did like that they reset the scale. That's why the teddy bear thing hit so hard, because we were just going through like 4 or 6 of us. Nobody saw any of the stuff ahead. So it's just like really dark. And then all of a sudden this thing that looks like it's just set deck pops up, and it was great.
Yeah. I think I almost fell down during that one.
I'd be very interested to see what San Francisco, if they do anything in this area
yeah, that would be
for Halloween haunted house.
We're going back to, because I think that Orlando's HHN is better than
which is crazy.
Yeah, LA's I agree. HHN. But we're going back just the day after it's done. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, it was like, I think technically like it would just be impossible for us to get to it. I was like, is there any way?
The one thing I don't think is better in Florida's HHN is the humidity and heat. Yeah. We went back one year after we were living in LA for a while. Yeah. And I remember just like wringing my hair out of sweat.
Yeah. There were a lot of things that you have in SoCal that we had in Florida. Like they have Disney, they have Universal and everything. And I do remember like the first few times you go in California, you're like, oh my God, this I get. Like I'm not a big theme park person anyway you slice it. But I was like, I totally get, this is very enjoyable.
Disney was my first job, my first like real job, I guess, in high school. And it was some of my favorite times of just walking around the park before it opened. I really, really enjoyed, I'm such a nerd for the set deck and stuff. Well, as I said, that
a huge nerd for it. Jives with what you like. You like architecture, you like set design, those kind of, and you're getting to like slowly walk through and see a place that does a really good job with those things. Yeah. They built a whole world there.
Yeah, you're just seeing everybody getting it ready.
Yeah. We go to the park a lot. We have this beautiful park down the street. I feel like we don't know how long we're going to be here for, so we're like, let's hit this park all the time. And one thing I have noticed, it happens everywhere, but it does seem to be a lot here in San Francisco, that people love to just have their dogs off leash. And these dogs love.
I don't notice it any more than anywhere else, because I feel like a lot of places people have their dogs off leash.
I've never seen a place in a city, busy city streets, have more dogs off leash.
Yes, I will say that. Yeah,
I ain't never seen so much.
I agree with that.
Caitlin, sorry, Caitlin.
That's the dog. Is the dog Caitlin?
Caitlin is the dog. Yeah, Caitlin's my dog. Caitlin, sorry. Hold, Waymo. Caitlin, hold Waymo. Waymo, hold.
This is not a good look.
Waymo, hold.
Got dog hair hanging from my hair hanging from him.
I got hold, and then you hold, and Caitlin. No, but it's so many dogs.
Well, we live by an off-leash dog beach, so maybe that is.
Yeah, that is more in reference to, like, I feel like the denser populated parts of San Francisco, because we're in the outer ridge. It's a little more low-key, so I get it to an extent. But this is a real question I have. I don't know, because we're on leashers, right? The furthest we're taking is we have the zip leash with him.
Right. And that just started because he hurt my shoulder so bad. I just got a zip. Now I can't just.
And we have had incidents with that. I don't mean like incidents with him doing anything, but like we almost tripped the one lady who was jogging. We talked about, like we're not great at it, but he is on a leash and we do know our dog and we do navigate around a lot of stuff. And is everybody who is an on-leasher as annoyed by off-leashers as I am? I'm absolutely so annoyed at off-leashers. The moment I see them, I already start a narrative. I go, here we go.
I'm only annoyed by off-leash dog people when I have my dog.
That's true. Oh, that's a great point.
I do not care at all if I don't have a dog.
That's so true.
As soon as I have my dog with me, I go, what? These people should be jailed.
Yes. And you know what? You're absolutely right, because whenever we don't have the dog, I'm excited to see an off-leash dog, because I think it's going to probably come over to me.
It never does. It's so annoying.
It never does.
Now, as soon as I have my dog, it's always around me.
Every time. And their response is always the same thing. You're standing in broad daylight with a dog who's like, at their dog coming over, and they go, oh, sorry, didn't see you. And I'm like, well, then if you are absolutely legally blind, you probably should have your dog on a leash.
Also, I think that they don't say that until their dog is growling at us.
Sorry, didn't see you. I go, well, we saw you. I don't say that. We wait until they leave, and I go, well, there's all that. I don't know. It could just be. These are one of the things where I go, I don't know if everybody's as annoyed by this as I am, but I absolutely don't like it.
I hate it.
Because their dog always wants. You know what it is, too, is that then you're getting wrapped in your leash. That's your punishment for doing it that way. And they just always are like, oh, my God, every time. And I'll watch them do it to 7 people. I go, you're struck by this the same way. Oh, my goodness gracious. Them and people who own chimpanzees are similar people to me. I go, you shocked by this. All they do is attack. All they wind up doing is ripping faces off. We're still going to act like we didn't see it coming. Your dog, if your dog does this 6 times this go, it does it 6 times everywhere you go.
Every go. Well, there's a lady who sits on a certain bench at this park.
Yeah.
She's there every time we do our afternoon walk.
Yeah.
Her dog is never on a leash. And her dog gets attacked by dog. It will act like it has been injured. It runs
up to your dog, everybody's dog, barks and barks and barks. The second your dog turns, it goes, "Arr!" and it falls like it is like the equivalent of a white lady Karen, of a dog.
I was thinking it was more like a fake, I fell down and now I'm going to sue you.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
It's really like pulling
looking
scam.
For a lawsuit. I said, get out of here. And the lady always does the same thing. All this rigmarole has happened. The people are like gaggling up their dog and they're getting tethered to themselves and they're wrapping around, and they're falling down the cliff face. And the lady goes, oh my gosh, Caitlin, oh baby, oh my God, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you. And then, you just see this thing. This is where I go, I get how people are like, is it a simulation? Because then it just resets. No lessons learned.
Yep.
No deviation in what we're going to do next. Just, so we're walking and you just hear, faint, and then the person's like, oh God, they can tell you, oh, got our dog, we're doing the right thing, we got our dog on a leash, sorry.
They always act too like they can't understand why you might be annoyed at it when you're mummified with your dog leash and then yanked backwards.
Right. It's making my leg turn blue and cutting off a major artery, and it's like, oh, I'm sorry, because God forbid your dog didn't get to be free. I'm like, it's a domesticated dog, right?
Yeah.
It's a domesticated dog. It's not a free dog. You are in charge of it.
Yeah.
Put it on its leash right now.
I do think Joseph, our dog Joseph, would prefer to be in a coyote pack than with us. And he would be the worst. He would be the worst in the pack. Oh, yeah. They'd be like, this wild card is getting us in trouble all over town.
Center. Yeah. You said the other day that he reminded you of the dog, what is it?
The weasel?
The weasel that laughs its head off and Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
It's kind of his energy.
It is.
Because the more annoying he is and the more insane
I'm going to crash you!
Yeah. The more insane that he acts, you look down and expect to see him go, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I know I've disappointed you on this walk. And he's like...
He's never more proud than when he does something bad.
And I go, and then when you're trying to deal with this guy, and then here comes fake what is she? She's Slip and Sal or whatever. Oh God, here we go.
Yep.
I'm like, no. Now, luckily, I guess at least to that lady's credit, she never does. She never follows up in the same. But I said, there's something here. This feels like it was a trained thing. Go over. I'm like, no, stop that.
Yeah. It does also feel like a lot of the dogs that come up are just they're not aggressive, but they will growl and stuff immediately.
It is aggressive when they're in his face growling at him. And my thing is always
he's a maniac. He's probably not growling back because he really loves dogs. He loves
That's true.
dogs.
He's not actually aggressive. All his maniac stuff, he's not aggressive. He's not going to bite stuff. That's not my concern. My concern is he's going to run and drag me to the earth, and I'm gonna more specifically drag you to the earth, and I'm gonna watch you like a cartoon just bouncing down
I have been spun around, full 360 spun around by him several times. The worst was we were walking across the street in a moped, one of these DoorDash mopeds. He hates mopeds.
Got a long list of stuff he doesn't like, but mopeds are up near the top.
That's number one. I think I just didn't kind of see it coming together so quick as it came together. But this moped came up to it was like coming up a hill, and we were crossing at the same time. It stops at the stop sign, and he just launches himself, and I'm just like, and
you're just like,
spun around.
No. I always think of like, then they cut to the point of view camera, and it's like leaping over the birthday cake, or the wedding goes, and it's like, and she ends up.
He's
in
a
Oakland.
real Beethoven.
Yeah, he really is. Like, where you're just like, and I'm that now. When I watched Beethoven, I absolutely was pro Beethoven. I was all about like, how do they not get how great this dog is? Come on. Now I realize I'm that dad where I'm like, what is going on with this thing, man? Like, it's crazy. We had a whole wedding get ruined by him. That's a lot. That is a lot. We got to put this thing on a leash.
Yeah.
We got to put him on a leash. Everybody here, no matter how bad their dog is off leash too, they never put it back on a leash. Mm-hmm. They're always just like, come on.
We were at the beach, and 2 dogs were walking to the beach. We were walking away from the beach.
Yep.
And middle of the street, they're because they're very far from their owner. They're very ahead of him.
No recall. There's never any recall.
Yeah, and they're just surrounding me, and I'm just totally wrapped, trying to walk across the street, pulling my dog, trying to.
That's always my favorite. Sorry, I go. Oh, that's cool. Like,
come help me.
Part of me goes, look. I think a lot of people here have a relatively high net worth. I guess I should just look at it like the positive that it is. I go, I got bit. So now we're going to the other thing. Yeah. Sorry, I got bit. And here's what I do. I do. You don't care. I don't care. Nope. We're all going to learn some lessons today.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
This is taking a turn.
No, I'm getting real litigious now. Oh, you never heard that word? I'm getting real litigious now. They go, I've heard the word. Okay, well, I'm doing it.
Any more thoughts, feelings, jokes? No. I love you.
I love you very much.
We didn't hit record. We didn't hit record.